Hey everybody, this is Cromar with TGN. I'm here today to bring you some more Rift coverage, and today we're taking a look at the Ranger. This is a very particular spec, a very niche spec that I have worked out that I enjoy playing with my Ranger. It's a AOE support mainly for parties and rifts. I'm going to show you mostly footage from a party. I just want to show you a little bit of single target and talk about the abilities for one. Now this is my Blood Raptor, my 31 point pet. I'm going to show you, let me just show you his abilities. He's not going to actually tank for me, so I'm going to change him out. The Blood Raptor gives you a little cleave here every 4 seconds, which is nice. Bloodied Blow, which is a self-heal, as well as damage, and then Ren, which is a stacking dot. So, very good abilities there, and he'll be spamming those constantly. Before I get to the PvP pet, or rather, I'm sorry, before I get to the tank pet, I'll show you the PvP pet, which is the Greater Direwolf. Direwolf has a standard bite and the maul, which is another bleed, and both of these are on the regular Direwolf, but this guy also has a howl that reduces the hit chance of surrounding enemies. So I guess that you could say that's for PvP primarily. I don't really know what the argument is for Direwolf over Blood Raptor. I'm not sure, and honestly I don't PvP with this spec anyway. I PvP straight up Saboteur, which will be a separate video. But anyway, so let's look at our Razor Beast here. Our Greater Razor Beast is going to be our tank pet. He's got two of the same abilities from the regular Razor Beast. He's got his Pummel, which is his main threat ability, and Charge. But he's also got Razor Quills, which deals damage and taunts the enemies around. So let's look at a little single target action. I'm going to open with a Nightblade Stealth attack because it gives me a damage bonus. And then Shadow Fire is another damage bonus. Piercing Shot reduces armor. Headshot. Splinter Shot's a dot. Quick Shot's another dot. Headshot again, and enemy goes down, and that was a little, it was okay. Probably the best thing about it is the fact that, oh, where's my pet heal? There it is. Sorry. The best thing about the spec is that you just don't take any damage while single target killing. But that's not why I picked this spec. I didn't do it for single target killing. I'd probably go marksman something if I want to do that. It's for the AOE. And it's not solo AOE, it's group AOE. Oh boy, I'd really like to be able to AOE these guys, but it's probably not going to work. I'm going to try it anyway. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up here. And I'm going to have to move in and get them all around me. And then hit Rain of Arrows. And I forgot an important step. I'm going to do my Bard buffs, including my heal. And I'm going to use the Soul Scrap for health. Then that's a drop you get from rifts, and then go back to my Rain of Arrows. You see the damage is racking up quite nice, but you'll see a little more proper AOE in the dungeon footage. Yeah, so not too efficient. As you see, I got my butt kicked. Granted, part of that was because I was stupid and forgot to put my motifs on first, but that's just I do stuff like that all the time. So let me do one more kill. And I don't want to spend too much time on the single target stuff, or really on the soloing with the Ranger. Because although it's pretty efficient, I just find the Nightblade or the Blade Dancer specs to be much better and more fun and more efficient for that. The reason I have this spec, my Hasten Call, which allows me to do an instant cast call, is pretty awesome, is for the Blood Raptor and for PvE for dungeons and AOE. And so let's talk about the spec. Now, there's a million things I could do to up my damage other than this setup. This setup is mostly for support, group support, and AOE. So let me go through it real quick here. I have Bard as my secondary spec. With only 16 points, you get a lot of great abilities. You get Coda of Fury, which is an AOE finisher. I do have an AOE finisher in Ranger, but it's on a 30-second cooldown. And that's Concussive Blast, or Explosive Shot, as I always keep calling it. But this is on a 30-second cooldown. It's extremely powerful, much more powerful than Coda of Fury. But just because it's not available all the time is why I have Coda of Fury. The other ones we have is increase the effectiveness of your anthems, or your fanfares, excuse me, because your group is going to appreciate that. Motif bonus, Anthem of Glory for extra armor. And I even have the Cadence Heal, 2 out of 3, which I don't use it too often, but I use it on bosses sometimes because my single target damage isn't that great anyway. But here in the abilities, in the root abilities, is where the Bard really shines as a sub-spec, because you get your basic motifs: attack power, spell power, 5% crit to the party. You know, you always want to have someone with that. And then a passive heal, which everyone will appreciate. And then for 16 points, the last point here gives you the fanfare power, which goes along with this point. So that's why I have 16 now. I couldn't, if I passed on Coda of Fury, I would lose fanfare power also. So I don't want to do that. Now, moving on to Nightblade. Nightblade has some amazing passives, including Blazing Fury, 15%, and Finisher, 15%. Between these two, it's just basically 15% to all of my damage. So that's really good, except for my Rain of Arrows, unfortunately. But it does work for my Trick Shot and others, and I'll show you that. I'll talk about those later. Then we have Melted Skin, your Hellfire Blades, which is this buff here, is granted by Nightblade. It just causes you to gain a damage bonus. Hellfire Blades does trigger on ranged attacks, which is awesome. It just does some fire damage. Here's the updated tooltip for rank 7, 50 fire damage per proc, and then it gives you that buff. So that's definitely good. Now this spec isn't perfect, it's a little sloppy. I just noticed I wasted a point in Twilight Force, but whatever. I could put that in Bard or something, but that's not important. The main thing is I wanted to make sure I grabbed the talents that I really wanted. Dark Melody. You have to have 12 for that, and that's the 20% damage bonus. You can read that in the tooltip there. And that's why I opened from Stealth. I try to open from Stealth as much as possible just to get that 20% damage bonus. And then while Stealth, I have some great abilities. I have Lost Hope, which is a ranged sap, and Ibn Terror is a ranged attack. And that's pretty much what I use from Nightblade. Passives, and a couple stealth attacks and stealth. But on to the main event, Bard. Basically with Bard, I get all the pretty much obvious talents, just anything that increases my DPS. I do not have double shot at the moment, but I could probably get it if I really worked at it. If I really drained talents, maybe from Nightblade. I don't want to lose Dark Melody though. I'm not sure. This is a level 46 build, but at lower levels, I wouldn't take anything out of Ranger. I would probably take them out of. I might just kind of neuter Bard and take out most of these Bard talents, or I might take them all out of Nightblade and just go Ranger Bard. If I was at lower level, I'm not sure. But there's not much I can actually take out of the Ranger spec. Most of these talents are absolutely crucial. A lot of these lower talents you have to have just to move up to the next rank, but once you start getting up here, you get some great ones. Piercing Shot reduces the armor of the target, and that's really, really important for your group. Your group will absolutely love that. Pretty much if you don't have a Warlord, then there's not much else that you can do to get armor reduction in this game, so this is really handy. Bestial Fury. Now, this gives you a 5% damage bonus every time you use Headshot. So I try to use Headshot once every minute just for that bonus, but it's not that important. I suppose I could take 2 points out of this if I really needed to move them in a double shot. I'm not sure. The thing is, the problem with double shot is that it's based on your auto-attacking, and your auto-attacking is so weak in this game. This game is not based around auto-attacking. That's just kind of there. It's based around abilities. So I'm not too worried about this talent, I guess, if I can't get it easily. There's another talent here I don't have, which I would really like, which allows your Blood Raptor to occasionally double attack his Bloodied Blow. That's the one where he heals himself and does damage. It's pretty nice, but I don't see that the actual amount of damage over time is going to be worth the 5 points. And again, like I said, there's very little I can spare out of this tree. So now the highlights of this build. Let me show you the two abilities, besides the Raptor and all that stuff, that's really this stands out. The first one, of course, is Rain of Arrows, which is this thing. And it just does an absolute crap load of damage. It's just wonderful. The cooldown on it is slightly longer than the duration. 8-second cooldown, 6-second duration. So sometimes what I'll do is do a Rain of Arrows and then do a full combo and then go back to Rain of Arrows. Now, what do I use to do a full combo? This is the other ability that's absolutely killer, is Trick Shot. This ability is amazing, and if you get it, you absolutely must get Improved Trick Shot. What this does, it hits 5 enemies and gives you a combo point. Improved Trick Shot causes you to usually, at like 60% of the time, gain 2 combo points instead of 1. Let's take a look at some footage from the Fall of Lantern Hook. I promise we're going to look at some dungeon battles here, and I just want to show you what the AOE looks like in a dungeon situation with lots of ads. And there I opened with Rain of Arrows, but the mobs were moved out of the way, so I had to cancel it and switch to Trick Shot. As you can see, combos build very fast, and you finished with Explosive. At the same time, you also have to maintain your Bard buffs, though in this particular run we had a full Bard who took care of that, so I actually got to skip that step. This is a different battle here, also in Fall of Lantern Hook, and as you see, what I'm doing is starting with Trick Shot, and I'm about to unleash an Explosive Shot in a second here, which hits for amazing damage that crits, around 850 to 900 at this level, whereas Code of Fury, which is the Bard one, crits for like 500. So, and then here's some Charmer's Caldera. Now this fight is just, you know, it's a smaller fight. So I'm focusing on trick shot, but you can see the damage against 4 targets is quite extensive. And then there's an explosive, and then there's a rain of arrows. So there's my current, I guess you could say my rotation at the moment is the trick shot up to explosive shot, and then or concussive blast, or whatever it's called, then followed with rain of arrows. I haven't really run meters to kind of test that, but that seems to be the best way to do it. That's at least the numbers look like it. And this pull is also from near the end of Charmer's Caldera. It's about 4 mobs, and as you can see there, I'm starting with also rain of arrows, and then I'm going to be switching up to, or excuse me, I started with trick shot, explosive shot, and switching to rain of arrows. And although I had to move out of the way of the other stuff here, now I can get to the rain of arrows properly. Rain of Arrows cooldown is slightly longer than the duration. It's 8-second cooldown, 6-second duration. So after the Rain of Arrows finishes off, I usually just spam a couple trick shots for extra damage. Single target, use Shadow Fire, which is that 2-second cast, 20-second cooldown ability. It also gives you a damage buff, so it's pretty nice. But yeah, that's what the AOE looks like. Don't forget to maintain your Bard buffs. That's part of the reason why they brought you. So this next pull is basically the same thing. I'm just going to run up it and do the AoEs, although the mobs got a little loose in the beginning, so you had to pick them up. That's about the only difference. So let me just run back here. And as you saw, while I was running back, I got my Bard buffs up, and then did the trick shot, explosive shot combo, or concussive blast, or whatever, and then hit rain of arrows to follow up. And again, that's what I think is the best rotation. It's what it appears to be, but I plan on doing much more rigorous tests at 50 when I talk about more hardcore mid-maxing type builds, whereas these are, you know, just for leveling. And when I talk about more hardcore mid-maxing builds, you're going to see a lot more detailed analysis and hopefully some meters. Although at the moment I'm recording this video, I don't know, I haven't seen any kind of official statement from Tryon about their stance on the third-party programs, specifically damage meters. I might be wrong, I might have just missed it, but I haven't seen anything from them. And I'm really paranoid about installing using third-party programs without their, you know, blessing, I guess, because I know how WoW is, I know how Blizzard is about third-party programs, but Tryon, you know, I'd hate to have a black mark on my account because of third-party program use, especially, you know, considering that I work for TGN and all. That would not be good for our relationship with Tryon. So I'm really paranoid about using meters, but I hopefully will be able to get some kind of data that we can parse and actually make like informed decisions about rotations, about, you know, what spec does the most DPS, that kind of stuff. But that'll be in the future. For now, my impressions is that in dungeons, this build, although it's a little sloppy, like I said before, and could have some points rearranged, this build seems to be my favorite build for groups because it brings some Bard support without going full Bard. It gives you the option of cadence for helping to heal, and it gives you lots and lots of AoE. Which helps you clear trash faster, and everybody everybody loves that. So there you go. All right, well, that's it for my Ranger AoE support build. Thanks for watching. This is Cromar with TGN.